Welcome back to Aikidoflow. Okay, we're going to have a look at a subject which is one of my favorite subjects, which is Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal's top 5 moves. I love Steven Seagal. Now, first of all, okay, some history. Now, Steven Seagal, he came at a time where Aikido was just in a terrible state. It was really, really boring and really, really flat. And Steven Seagal made Aikido into something that was actually exciting. Steven Seagal gave me the enthusiasm to continue. And to be honest with you, I really credit Steven Seagal in partially in the direction that we decided to go to. What's your experience of Steven?
Listen, Steven Seagal for me? Oh my God. I originally started doing Aikido. I think it was 1991 or something. The Out for Justice movie came out. And me and my cousin went to see it in the cinema on like a Friday night or something. And the following Monday, we were in a dojo learning Aikido. We just saw it as nothing like I'd never seen anything like it before. I was used to my martial arts movies and stuff, but that was just that took it to another level for me. I thought I need to learn this Aikido stuff. I remember researching what is this martial arts called, found out, well, I wasn't researching like that because back then we didn't have this. You know what I'm saying? We had to go like this, But yeah, exactly. So yeah, I remember going to a dojo and started training from there, and that's what started me off. If I hadn't seen his movies, I don't think I'd be doing martial arts today. So for me, he's the guy he's the reason why I'm standing here right now today.
Steven Seagal, what I like about Steven Seagal is that he actually put Aikido into a combat street self-defense context. Before Steven Seagal, anything that was related to Aikido was still that flowing kind of light, the dancing movement that you still see today that everybody criticizes, basically. And Steven Seagal actually brought it into context. It showed him when he was going up against people on the street, when he was going to fights in bars, special operations, and it was actually the context of how it works, how you can actually apply it in a real situation, which is what we are all about. Tell us, Azu.
Exactly. It just his style made me realize that you can implement, Aikido in real situations. Like I hate those videos where you see on YouTube where the guy stands there, he holds his hand out and the person runs and grabs his hand and he does something here and he throws him here and the person is jumping here and jumping there. I can't stand those videos. Steven Seagal, he was the first time I saw someone do something, boom, take somebody down hard and fast and breaking arms and all that stuff. And, he just gave me a passion for Aikido. He made it worthy of performing in a real life situation for me. And then I went to my dojo, training with Jason. And that's when I was given the opportunity to practice Aikido in the way which I've seen Steven Seagal do it. A lot of these clubs out there, they were still very traditional, very flowing and very cooperative. But then we just kind of cranked up a notch. I remember we get the head guards and the pads out and everything. It gave me that passion. He gave me that passion.
Yeah.
I got to thank Steven Seagal for that because he's the one who just made me really get into my Aikido, which is what has helped me in so many real life situations till today.
In respect for our uncle Steven, Uncle Steven, what we're going to do is we're going to review our top 5 techniques from Uncle Seagal. Okay, first technique from Uncle Seagal. Okay, now, Ten okay, and that is heaven and earth throw. And you see him, okay, so basically it's that move, right? If you don't know nothing about Aikido, okay, so the move that we're going to show you, like, is that one where it goes bang like that. It's kind of like like a chop.
Clothesline, isn't it?
Yeah, clothesline. In fact, talking about that, okay, I saw that in John Wick as well. Okay, I saw John Wick do that same move. But anyway, we'll make another video about that. This is Steven Seagal. Now, in Aikido terms, okay, I'm going to do it nice and easy so you can understand it. I'm going to get Azu to hold on to me. So, in Aikido terms, it's a nice move. We call it like a zigzag. So, I go this way first of all, and then I go this way. Okay. Now, in Steven Seagal terms, so if Azu does a swing for me, I would just go boom. Okay, so what it is so how this works is as the attack swings round, I step out slightly, and what happens is that tilts Azu slightly, and then in true Aikido form, I then use that tilt and destabilization to basically take him down. It looks like a chop, but it's not. But it's not a chop. It's actually just dropping him down. So once again, it's simply boom, boom. There you go.
Okay, number 2, top Steven Seagal. Uncle Steven technique. Okay, the arm bar. He would manipulate this joint in so many ways. And I remember him in the movie, him doing a technique. I can't remember if the person threw a punch at him or something. He was like here, and he was like boom, and he came underneath here. There's a nice arm bar here, and he's held it until it broke. Now, knowing Steven Seagal in some of his movies, what he also does as well, he goes for the fingers as well, and he'll bend up the fingers as well and do something here and just and he'll just break the arm and he'll hold it till it and it pops here, boom. I just love the technique. What he's doing, he's manipulating this joint here, and he's getting his arm underneath, and he's pulling the hand down while raising the elbow joint up, which eventually means boom, they're going to get some sort of breakage or lots of pain right here. And they'll grab those fingers and then bend the fingers backwards and just get more pain in there. And, you know, he just made everything look so painful. You know, every technique he did just looked like, oh, you know, I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that. And, you know, I just loved the way he implemented his techniques. It was a totally different planet from the ones you see on YouTube where the person's all flowing and being all cooperative. You know, Uncle Seagal taught me a lot.
Okay, number 3, Steven Seagal, Uncle Steven's techniques. Okay, now this is probably the technique that you see the most. Okay, and that is the classic, okay, the classic wrist turn. Okay, and you see it normally comes from, like, if somebody just like throws a punch at him or something like that, and then he would just turn. So okay, so as he punches me, I'll just turn here, and then I'll just turn the wrist, and then oh, he will just go down there. And I mean, how it works, you know what? It's very, very simple how it works. Okay, so what happens is that the wrist can only turn to a certain degree. Okay, so as I'm holding it and I turn the wrist, at some point it will stop, and if I keep on turning it, what will happen is that the body will keep on turning round, and eventually that will then lead to somebody falling down.
Number 4, okay, this was another technique I always saw Steven Seagal do, and this is what for me were almost like the fundamentals of Aikido, when it was you're using somebody else's energy against them, you know, using their momentum against them. It's what we call in Aikido like the breath throw, okay? When somebody's either coming at you or you're in a struggle and you're just feeling where their weight is and you're using it to send them in the direction they came at you. And so, for example, like we're in a struggle here, okay? We're in a struggle here. Now, what I would be doing here is I need to move my opponent. Now, I'm not going to battle him with strength. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one side down and one side up, okay? And I'm literally going to turn my hips. As I turn my hips, I turn and I keep on. My aim is to take this elbow over to this shoulder here. And I just keep it going and I just send my attacker away. It's just like so simple. He would do that when someone would run at him. You saw him do it also in his dojo when he's doing randori against other, against other students, his students, and he's just taking the person and rotating them and turning and sending them that way, you know. It was, it was just such a smooth technique, and he did it so effortlessly, you know. That's what I loved about him. Uncle Steven, for me, Uncle Steven is to Aikido just as important as, even more important than Uncle Ben was to rice.
Number 5. Uncle Ben? Really? Uncle Ben? Okay, number 5. Okay, we call this Shionagi, and basically it's like a twist reversed technique, and there's many different ways we could do it. And once again, what Steven did is he took away all the fat and he just made it very, very concise, and it resembles very much what we do today, which is very quick indeed, very quick indeed. It's a very nice, tight, you know, concise move, and it's just a roll, and it just basically takes someone down straight away. Steven Seagal was just an inspiration. At that time, he inspired us, and the inspiration turned to energy, and that energy got us moving, and it got us doing something, and it got us into Aikido, which is, as far as I'm concerned, it's all about inspiration, okay? Like I said, it doesn't matter what he's doing now. It's the inspiration that he moved us to. I just want to remind you about our online training academy. If you want more detail about our style and how it works, that's where you'll find it. Links are in the description. Okay, in conclusion, Steven was amazing. Okay, he was a true innovator of his time. There wasn't anybody before him that was doing anything like that at all. He was the first. And this is just a shout out to Steven, basically just to say thank you for doing what you did at the time, because what you did, Steven Seagal, is that you changed the course of a lot of people's lives. I don't even know whether or not we would be doing this channel now if Steven Seagal hadn't been doing what he was doing. So a great shout out to him. Yeah, over to Azu.
You know,
1977.
What's crazy is I grew up watching martial arts movies like the old school movies, Jackie Chan, Sammo Yen Bu, Lan Kai-yan, Silver Fox, all those guys, like old school kung fu movies. And I watched hundreds of them. It's all I used to do as a teenager. But it was only when I saw Steven Seagal movies at the age of maybe about 18, 19, that's what inspired me to get up and go to a dojo and start training, because for me, what he did was just something, it was mind-blowing. It was completely different. Back then, I can understand that people view him now, but back then, to me, he was a legend and he was a man. if Steven Seagal made rice, we would do it better than Uncle Ben.
And finally, Steven Seagal's techniques that we've shown you absolutely do work, okay? It's not a question of they don't work. You've seen them in films. We have used them, okay? We have first-hand knowledge of how to use them and how they work, and we can guarantee you they absolutely do. All I can say is, Uncle Steven Seagal, thank you.